Howdy all, and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Oh man, I just finished watching the season finale of The Walking Dead. I did not... Okay, no. I pretty much expected 80% of what went down in that episode to happen. This is a weird building. But it did not end the way I expected. I really thought it would end with the wolves at the gates, which apparently are the wolves now. In fact, they might be the werewolves after some of the scenes in the episode tonight. Or, well, I guess it wasn't tonight. It was, what, a week ago almost? Yeah, it was really good. There's a couple things in there I was a little confused about, but I'm also not sure. Oh, yeah, I think I mentioned that I was talking with a friend, and he asked if I had seen it yet, and when I told him I hadn't, I told him he couldn't tell me about it. And he told me he was going to have to go back and watch some episodes again because he didn't remember. What did he call her? The Tomb Raider chick, I think is what he called her. I just realized he was referencing Sasha. I thought he was referencing. Maybe not. Maybe he was referencing. I don't know what her name is, but the girl that hangs out with Carl. And oh, when did I get diseased? Let me take care of that right now. All right. So I'm not going to remember what order everything happened in, because there's a lot that went down in the hour-and-a-half episode. Actually, let's start off with not the show. Let's start off with the fact that this summer, it looks like we're going to get a Walking Dead spin-off. I don't really pay attention to entertainment news, so if you do, you probably knew it was coming. I did not, so that was a pleasant surprise. It looks like it's going to be The Walking Dead during the zombie breakout. Zombie plague. Zombie breakout? Where are they escaping from? I don't know. So that looks awesome. They also had a commercial for... What is that? Ooh, iron gloves. Nice. They also had a commercial for something that starts this fall called the Badlands, which I know nothing about, but it showed a dude with a samurai sword with blood dripping off of it, and that was pretty much the entire commercial. It just showed this sword. It showed some like reflections on the sword, but I couldn't quite make out what they were. And then the dude's got like tattoos, just stripes on his arms. So I didn't know if they were supposed to be like, you know, check marks where he's killed so many of whatever it is. And then he says there is no God in the Badlands. And so that intrigued me. I don't know if it'll be any good, but it at least intrigued me. And that's supposed to start in the fall, which must be... We've got That must be the next 2 shows then, because what we're gonna get is Mad Men starts Sunday, and then after Mad Men, after Mad Men is yeah. So my program just crashed. Not 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die was fine, but I am looking for water. There it is. My rendering program just crashed, which it does occasionally. Usually, though, it only does it when I have complex renders, like where I edited something heavily and I've made 100 little snips and I didn't save it. That's usually when it likes to cut out. This one, though, was just a straight-up render, so I don't know what its problem was. Sometimes it does that just to be annoying, I'm pretty sure. Because, you know, I believe my rendering program is sentient. But so Badlands, we get Mad Men Sunday, and then that'll run out its final episodes, and then the Fear the Walking Dead is the name of the Outbreak series, it looks like, and so that will start summer, it said. So I don't know how many episodes there are left of Mad Men, but that starts in April. So if it runs April, May, and into June, then Fear the Walking Dead will start July, August, September, probably July, August, and then Badlands will run September into October, and then The Walking Dead will start back up in October. So, dang it! I was really hoping that'd be the one. So that looks like some cool series. They've got to get some because they've got to replace some of their other stuff. Like Justified is Justified on AMC? No, that's FX. I'm confusing my channels. Halt and Catch Fire starts here pretty quick too, so that's on AMC. I don't know. It doesn't help that different channels are buying advertisements on the channels I watch, and then I get confused as to which channel's which. Yeah, so maybe a couple of good series coming out. Although, you know, look at iZombie, the weirdness that it is. Walking Dead. So at the end of last episode of Walking Dead, I totally don't know what Rick said, and they make such a big deal about what Rick said. I really ought to go back and look at it. I also just realized I didn't reset my timer, and it says that I've been recording for 40 minutes. Awesome. So this will be kind of a guesstimate when I quit, I guess. Anyways, I can't focus. So we've got Rick attacking. Well, Rick and the surgeon fighting each other, and then Michonne clonks him over the head while Rick stands there and pulls his gun and points it at everybody. And that was their big issue with it too, which just made me laugh. They kept saying, "But he pointed his gun at people. He pointed his gun at people." I'm like, are you kidding me? What do you think it's like on the other side of the walls? Seriously, I don't think their scavenging teams have run into any people out there. Well, that can't be true. Don't they believe the reports of their people who go out to bring in new people? I mean, they've got to be used to having guns pointed at them at this point, right? Isn't that the first thing you do when somebody comes into camp? Make sure they're friendly. Yeah, so I think the episode started off with Morgan, who we saw at the beginning of the season, Morgan was the first... No, Morgan was the second person that Rick saw after he woke up in the hospital at the beginning of the series. And then we saw Morgan again later. Morgan had a son, and I want to say Rick's come across him at least twice before this point, and maybe 3 times, or not necessarily Rick, but other people on the show. They've shown Morgan like 2 or 3 times before this season, and so in the first season, his son clocks Rick over the head with a shovel, and then they eventually leave, and he leaves Morgan with walkie-talkie so that he can communicate with him. And dang it! Oh man, just about killed myself there. Oh, shouldn't have spoke so soon. Oh man, you know what? I don't have a bed down here. I need to get a bed down. You go down. Alright, I'm gonna go into one of these houses here and plop down a new bed. Oh, no, I'm gonna walk on a cactus first. And so Morgan's, and then later, I can't remember if they showed Morgan at his second place before his son died, but his son got bit and turned into a zombie, and Morgan was keeping him as a zombie, and then he finally, I believe Morgan killed his zombified child. That was back around the time of the governor, if I remember correctly. I might not, I don't know. I don't really remember a lot of details of things most of the time. I just remember the general flow of how it happened. And so I just remember that Morgan's kid turned into a zombie somewhere in there, and he had to be killed. And so, oh, there isn't even a bed in this house. Seriously? There's not a bedroom in this house? Nope, not a bedroom, but there is a zombie. And so, so one of the wolves sits down at the campfire next to him and talks to him, and he basically was monologuing, and he told Morgan to put down everything he has, because he wants everything Morgan has, every last drop, including Morgan. And so Morgan tells him it doesn't have to go that way, he can take everything he's got and go about his business, and he starts telling Morgan just to stay still, and then they attack, and then one of them comes out of the woods, and then Morgan apparently has learned bow staff skills, and he fights him off with his walking stick, and then leaves them in a car, and honks the horn, so I don't know if their buddies can come, or zombies can come and keep him in there until he can get away. I'm not exactly sure what his reasoning was for honking the horn. I assume it's so their buddies will come, but maybe it was to bring zombies. I don't know. But he leaves them safe in a car anyways. And then after that, Morgan's gone, so they don't show him for a bit. And then, oh man, zombies just wandering in while I'm exploring. Screamer. And so, then we've got, you know what, I need to fix my axe here before it breaks. Crafting. That confuses me every time. I don't understand why I can't figure out the fact that that's just raised. Every time I look at it, I think these are tabs. And I find it really weird that there's an inventory tab, a crafting tab, and a character tab is what it looks like to me. And the crafting and the character tabs actually change things. But the inventory tab is nothing. It's just a word. And that confuses me too. Anyways, so then we go to Daryl and whatever the name of the guy is that he's out with. Ethan, I think. We'll say it's Ethan. And so they're out and they see someone in a poncho and they follow him and they can't find him, but they do come across what looks to be a locked up canned food factory. And so Ethan decides they should investigate because food. And so they go in there and they actually find a food truck it looks like it's been loaded for delivery, and it's still got a lock on it. And so Ethan also sees, he collects license plates, so he also sees an Alaska license plate, which he doesn't have yet. He's trying to collect one plate for all 50 states. Actually lost his plates, I think, and so he's got to start over. But so he takes the plate off the back of the truck and then opens the truck, and when he opens the truck, it's full of zombies. Hanging zombies that have had their limbs removed so they don't make noise because it's a trap. And so then all these zombies start coming out, and Daryl and Ethan barely get into this car before they get surrounded by zombies. And then I think it cuts off there, but they eventually decide they're going to try to fight their way out. And Daryl talks about how he feels more free now trapped in a car than he does inside Alexandria, because, you know, that's just the type of person he is. He doesn't feel scooped up when he's in civilization. And so just as they're about to break out of the car, one of the zombies' heads explodes. Alright, maybe get smashed. And Morgan's there, and Morgan helps them fight their way out of the area. Oh, and they find a note that says it's a trap. And bad people are coming. And so, and then Morgan, they give Morgan, well, Ethan gives Morgan the spiel about Alexandria. You know, how it's safe, it's got electricity and water, and it's safe, and they want him to come join. He tells Daryl, ask him why, because Daryl doesn't know Morgan. Daryl's like, you know, why don't you come help us? And Morgan says, well, all life is precious. So then he says he's actually headed someplace, and he doesn't know where he's at. I don't know how he can manage that, but well, I do, but you know, it'd be weird. So I want to go off on a little tangent here about, there's a game called GeoGuessr that uses the Google Maps, and I can't believe how many places don't have signs. Where I live, there are signs everywhere. You couldn't go a mile without a sign telling you where you're at, or the direction of a nearby road, or not road, oh, there we go, nearby town. And I'm amazed at how many places on GeoGuessr they plot me down in the middle of nowhere. Every time I do that wrong. But so when Morgan shows on the map, Rick had written a note on the map, and I believe that's where Morgan was headed to. And so Daryl, of course, recognizes Rick's name at the bottom, and so that's the last they show them for a bit. And then they show a scene with Sasha, and she is moving dead bodies, and she's dug a hole and she's throwing, zombies into a hole, dead zombies, and she is pulling on one and slides down into the hole and then just lays down on top of the zombies and closes her eyes because she's going crazy. And then there's a great scene in there with Rick wakes up and Michonne's sitting there and they chit-chat a little bit. Oh, crap. That'd have been bad. That's my spawn spot right there. Oh, now you're full of vim and vigor. What the heck, lady? Suddenly every axe attack damages the door. You had stamina when I started that before. I don't know what the heck you were doing. So they have a little group meeting and they're sitting around talking, and Carol talks about how they have to tell the people what they want to hear because they need to take over because these people don't know what they're doing. Because they're right. These people have never faced anything from the outside, as far as I can tell. And the outside is coming, and so one of the people looks at her is looking at her, and she says I've been telling them a story since I got here. And they're like, why would you do that? And she says, because these people are children, and children like stories. Not gonna lie, Carol is probably my favorite person on this show. She didn't used to be, but she is now. She's awesome. And so they're gonna have a town meeting to talk about what happened. Not make any decisions or anything. They're just going to talk about what happened, and then the governor, she will decide what they're going to do. And alright, so I've been in this place. I think I've been in this place, and I crossed this road to come this way. And so then there's a scene that I don't understand where it came from at all. I don't think that's right. I don't understand how it started, but a couple of episodes ago, Glenn and Noah and Tara, I looked up the names for the main characters. They went out on a run with two of the people from Alexandria, and they got the governor's son killed in the process, and the other guy from Alexandria, he freaked out and got Noah killed. And Eugene went with them too. And Eugene, Tara, Glenn, and Noah. And so, because that dude freaked out and wouldn't work with them, Noah got killed. And last episode, I think it was last episode, Glenn told that guy that he was no longer allowed to go outside. and that he wasn't allowed to do any more runs because he wasn't what's the word I'm looking for here? Dependable. That's the word I want. He wasn't dependable. And so the first time we see that guy in this episode, he's out in the woods and he's got a gun pulled, and I must have missed him shoot Glenn's at some point. But he sees someone through the trees, and he goes after him, and it turns out to be a zombie, and so he stops, and he pulls his knife, and then he goes to go after the zombie with his knife, and then he realizes he's a coward, and so he puts his knife back and shoots the zombie with a gun, and then Glenn jumps on him, and they start fighting, and I don't know where... I mean, I understand why they were fighting. I just don't know why it started in the middle of them fighting. And so... you know what? I'm going to use one of these things to get my health back up, because this is ridiculous. And so... they start wailing away on each other, and the guy takes his thumb and drives it into Glenn's bullet wound in his shoulder. Oh crap, I thought they were inside. I didn't realize you were standing right there. And so he leaves Glenn in a pile of zombies who have attacked them while they're wrestling around because the gunshot drew them. And then they, you know, pan away from that. And then Father Gabriel, who is a nut job and a half, he's wandering around outside and sees a zombie, and he walks up to the zombie and holds out his arms and says he's ready, and then the zombie comes for him. And the zombie's got a noose on, and when the zombie almost bites him, he freaks out, grabs the noose, spins the zombie around, and then pulls the noose through its neck until its head pops off. Then takes a rock, beats the zombie to death, beats the person that it just ate to death. You know, smashes their skulls in so they stop twitching. And then he goes back to town. And when he gets back to town, the gate guard says, "Oh, hey, you came back just in time. They're getting ready to have the meeting." And so the guy turns and starts walking off. And he tells Father Gabriel, "Hey, would you get that?" And Father Gabriel doesn't shut the gate. He walks off and leaves the gate to Alexandria open. And so there's a scene with Rick and Michonne where... Well, there's a scene with Rick and Carol where Carol says that she doesn't trust Michonne because Michonne sided against him, and then later Rick tells Michonne that they have taken weapons from the armory, and that if they have to, they're going to take over the town, even if they have to kill people to do it at this point. And Michonne says to him, "Oh, there's a zombie hiding in the stairs." Michonne says to him that, "Did you think I was going to side with them against you?" And he's like, "Well, he hit me on the head." And she says, "That was for your good, not theirs, never theirs." And so this is cool looking. It's kind of like, it's supposed to be a fireplace. This is the worst jail ever. I thought there'd be like weapons and stuff in there. There's nothing. And so that was funny to me. Oh, looks like I've raided this place. At least the door is open. Hey lady. And then we got a barn in the middle of town. Probably lucky it didn't spawn dogs. We got ourselves a general store here, it looks like. I like the chair out front. It's a nice touch. Just put up my feet and watch the people drive through town, I guess. But so, most of the people take off for the meeting at this point, and Rick finally decides to go to the meeting, and he starts heading out that way. Yeah, see, now this is what I expected. Oh man. Oh man. I don't have an auger anyways. Who am I kidding? Ugh, I'm gonna have to hack through the wall. Alright, well, if I have to hack through the wall, I'm gonna hack through the wall. Back here, I guess. And, oh, I guess I should get on a block here. And so when Rick goes to head to the meeting, he sees blood on the ground, and he winds up at the gate. Oh, what the heck is this stuff? Okay, holy crap. I don't have 10 years to hack through this. Let's try this here. And so, honestly, if I can... I wonder if I can reach it from behind. Yes! Yes! Crossbow is precisely the tool. Get this piece of wood out of my way, will ya? I was hoping I could reach it from here. Oh, wait. Can I make gas with an oil barrel? Yeah. That's what we're talking about. I think a chainsaw will go through this wall. Maybe? I don't know if it will, though. We'll give it a try. I know it's not the right tool. It would be the auger, but if it works, it works. Oh yeah, no, the chainsaw will go right through it. As soon as I get some gasoline into it anyways. Really? The chainsaw won't go through that? What about this over here? Wow. This gun safe is going to have those things I want, too. I've got to go through it. I can't believe we can't tear down these steel bars here. Yeah, good luck with that, guys. What, oh, wait. What if I go underneath? No, I want the chainsaw. And so Rick finds zombies because, you know, they left the gate open. And really? I can't believe I don't have a shovel on me. Where are my planks? Planks. I know I've got a whole bunch of planks. Where did I put them? There they are, right in the middle. Come on, make me some sticks. Okay, and then with the sticks. Oh crap! 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 I need a shovel. Oh, a shovel takes 4 ingots? Seriously? Whatever's in this safe, it better be worth it, man. I gotta dump something. I guess you guys go. So, Rick kills the zombies. They have their little town meeting. Everybody's mad. The governor's like, he pointed a gun at people. And Carol puts on her little, but everybody's friendly act. And governor's like, but he pointed a gun at people. Which just, it cracks me up. No kidding, he pointed a gun at people. What'd you think was gonna happen? Oh. Back off, dude. Alright. See if we can search this before we get killed. And so, they have their meeting. Rick's not there. Glenn's not there. Glenn finally, that guy is walking through the woods. Glenn jumps him from behind. Glenn knocks him down. Beats him. The guy starts saying how scared he was. Glenn puts a gun to his head, decides not to kill him. Meanwhile, Sasha has gone to the Father Gabriel to get some comfort for her. And dang it. Dude, I'm trying to do something here. Oh, well, that let me search in here. And what I wanted isn't in here anyways. Where'd you go? That guy just appeared. I was trying to figure out where exactly you had to aim with this. Alright. And so... we're going this way, right? And so Glenn decides not to shoot the guy. The Father Gabriel, though, then starts freaking out and talking about how it's all Sasha's fault that Bob died. And he's blaming... He's basically... what's it called? Transference? Psychological thing. He is... Chainsaw, you were terrible at opening things. He is taking his feelings of guilt for getting his congregation killed by locking them out of the church and transferring them to Rick's team, and all the people who have died, he is blaming Rick's group for those people's deaths. Like Bob's, who got captured by cannibals and eaten, and I'm not sure why that is even close to Rick's team's fault. And hurry up, there's a zombie coming. And my part isn't in here anyways. And so he starts yelling at Sasha. Sasha and him start fighting, and Sasha is standing there trying to decide whether or not to kill him. The priest is begging her for her to kill him, or whatever he is. I don't know that he's a priest. He's a father. So I think he's Episcopalian, maybe not Catholic. And, or whatever. I'm not really sure on that stuff. And so... Maggie has left the meeting in disgust. Actually, I think she would get Father Gabriel because the governor said, "Oh, well, Father Gabriel told me that you people weren't to be trusted." And the very next day, Rick attacks, attacks one of the people. And so she goes to get Father Gabriel. She gets there to stop Sasha, or she gets there in time to stop Sasha. And then the last scene you see of Maggie, Sasha, and Father Gabriel is they're sitting in a circle holding hands praying. The last scene you see of Glenn is Glenn and that guy walking back into town together. Glenn's helping the guy get back to town. And then Rick fights 3 zombies. Aw. Still not my part. And he shows up at the meeting, and they are still arguing about how you don't know what it's like out there, and Rick knows what it's like out there, and you're not going to survive unless you become like us, is basically what they're telling these people. And they don't want to hear it, of course. And then Rick comes walking into the firelight of the meeting and throws down a zombie. And they're looking at him like he's crazy. And he's like, the gate was open, there wasn't a guard. And the guard goes, I told Father Gabriel to close it. And so Rick then tells him that that's it. He's done talking. They are going to learn to be like Rick's people. And that's it. Discussion ended. He said, earlier today I was trying to decide how many of you I was going to have to kill to save the rest of you. And he's like, and we're not going to do it that way. You're just going to change. And so that was the end of their meeting. Oh no, that wasn't the end of the meeting. That was the end of their discussion at the meeting. And then the surgeon guy shows up. Oh no, before the surgeon guy shows up, Tara, who had been badly injured, wakes up and turns to see Rosita sitting next to her, and they smile at each other. So Tara's not dead, which was a possibility. And so she wakes up. They show a scene at the food center where Daryl and Ethan almost fell into a trap of the wolves, and they show the guy who was in the poncho and 2 other guys, and they cut the poncho guy's throat for not dealing with Daryl and Ethan correctly, and then they turn on their lights so that they can lead the zombies back into the trap, because zombies are attracted to sound and lights. And then one of them finds Ethan's pack with all the pictures from Alexandria in it. Yeah, and so now the wolves know about Alexandria. And then the final scene of the episode, was I cannot believe how long it takes for this thing to cut through this door. I realize it's because of the metal on the door, but come on. And so the doctor who Rick got in a fight with at the end of last episode, he shows up carrying, I'm assuming, Michonne's katana. The governor's husband goes to stop him. He yells how Rick's people aren't part of them, and tries to shove the governor's husband off of him, and all he manages to do is slice open the guy's neck. Other people wrestle him to the ground. Oh look, 44 magnum parts, but not the part I need. And the governor's husband dies. She looks up to Rick and she goes, "Rick, do it." And Rick shoots. Whether or not he shot the guy, I don't know, but he did shoot. And just as he does that, oh, I guess I already searched this stuff. It pans up to show Morgan standing there, and Morgan goes, "Rick?" And then they show Rick's face all bloodied and battered, looking back at Morgan and Daryl and Ethan. And I just saw you guys drop in from nowhere. And that was the season finale, and it was pretty awesome. Now, the Wolves are led, I think, by a man named Davidson, who was one of the original members of Alexandria, who helped them get everything set up, and then they kicked him out because they were afraid of him. They mentioned Davidson in the episode. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those super dangerous, violent seasons, I think, next season. So yeah, even though it's been like a year since I read the comics, it's gonna be at least another year before I have to read the comics again. Not that they're bad comics, you understand, just the show... Oh, you know what? I went the wrong way. The show's not progressing that much faster. So, alright, well, I think this has probably gone on way longer than it should have. So, can't find those Magnum parts. With my luck, I'm assuming we're not going to get the last Magnum part before the... Ooh, that door is open. I think I probably searched this place. Yeah. I'm not going to assume we're going to find that last part before everything ends, which is sad. I really wanted to find that Magnum. The new patch, I assume, is still on its way. And, well, no, I know a new patch is on its way. I just assume it's going to happen before next episode, because this is actually pretty early in the week for me to be recording this episode. And I just trying to get a bunch of stuff done and out of the way because, oh, what do we got here? Iron boots. Because my vacation's over here soon, and I've got work tomorrow. I've got another job on Thursday. I've gotten 2 days so far. 2 days that weren't spending time at some gathering or another, or work, since my vacation started. And I really would have liked more vacation time up there on the nothing. But anyways, click the like if you like, subscribe, be sure and catch the next one. I'll talk to you later.